broadcasting to you live from the Orion spiral arm of the Milky Way galaxy, the solar system, planet Earth, North America, the United States of America, somewhere in between Denver and Seattle. No, I'm not. It didn't work this time. Somewhere outside of the greater Denver, Seattle area. That just doesn't work today. My name is Brian Engelman. Today is January 20th, a Tuesday, 2026. And this right here that you have found today, well, this right here, it's called Strictly Football. And we are so happy that you are here at this most wonderful time of the year. Let's go ahead and click our fingers and watch the logo up here. Boom. And you're watching it on the New American Media. On today's show, we're going to discuss Fernando Mendoza and the team of destiny. The Indiana Signettis bring home the bacon. National champions for the first time in their history. That's kind of cool. They beat the Miami Hurricanes. We'll cover it briefly. We're going to talk about the head coaching carousel. The Giants have a new coach. The Falcons have a new coach. Some teams are still waiting. Some interesting names are still out there. I still wonder if Signetti's going to go along with the number one pick out to Las Vegas. Maybe we'll discuss that. And of course, we have the conference final championships organized now. We had 4 games over the weekend, 8 teams. Now only 4 remain. That's the Patriots going into Denver to battle the Broncos, and that's the Rams going into Seattle to face the Seahawks. So these are the topics we're going to cover on today's show and more. So buckle up. Strictly Football is here.
I'm Eric Metcalf, and you're watching Unhappy Hour.
New American Media is proud to present a division of the Unhappy Hour sports show, Strictly Football.
It's the Unhappy Hour.
Thank you all so much for being here. Hit the thumbs up button, hit the like button, hit subscribe. This is, Mike, I call this the best damned football roundtable on the internet. How about that? Borrowing from your Toxically Masculine Tuesday.
Yeah, I'm all for that. Maybe Toxically Masculine Tuesday, but it's a good show. It's fun to be a part of. I'm glad to be here.
Absolutely. Thanks for being here. Congratulations on your team advancing. Same to you, Mr. Jim Mitchell. Welcome to the party. Congrats. Your team is in the conference finals. How you doing, sir?
Good afternoon, sports fans.
I love it. This is awesome. You got the hat. You got the
I'm all hawked out, man. And I got my friend Chrissy back there on Models Mania magazine. Okay. And Kirk versus the Gorn, Flash Gordon.
Yeah, since you got that new camera, Mike, that looks particularly good.
Yeah.
The camera is sharp, I gotta say.
You can tell the background really clearly, yeah.
Is there a name for your hawk? Is there a name for the hawk? Does it have a name?
It's called the Seahawk.
C is his first.
Yeah. You know what's funny? I'll tell you a story. This came out in like 1976 when the team was first formed. They said a Seahawk is this majestic hunting bird that swoops down into the ocean and grabs a fish with its beak, carries it off, and tortures it to death and all this. Turns out that's actually a fish hawk, not a Seahawk. And a Seahawk is a bird that raids other birds' nests. And when it gets caught, it pretends to puke, so the bird that catches it won't kill it. So, little history on the Seahawk name there. But it sounds cool. Seattle Seahawks. It sounds cool.
I feel like that would have gone through, like, some vetting process.
It was in Sports Illustrated. I don't know. That was a long time ago.
They're talking about what a Seahawk is. What is a cowboy these days? What is a cowboy? It's a team that has a couple draft picks coming up.
Yep. Exactly.
Welcome to the show, sir. How you doing? I guess
great.
Yeah, good to have you here. Let's start with the college football championship. It's all fresh on our minds. We got some players that are going to end up on our teams next year. We'll go around the horn. Mike Bara, what did you make of the championship game? It was close. It was interesting. It was fun. I was cheering.
Well, it was a close game. It was entertaining for a college game, and I would just like to congratulate the University of Indiana for purchasing the best college football team that money can buy. And the system is messed up because this is just what's going to keep happening. I guess it's kind of fun to have a different team buy their way into the championship. But here's the danger, and this is why I think they're actually going to do something about this. The danger is that if other teams that are not part of the big conferences, the SEC or the Big Ten or whatever, if they start doing this, if Fresno State buys a championship team, the networks are going to get really PO'd because they're locked into these conferences. So I feel like there's definitely going to be something about this transfer portal and all that stuff that's probably going to be changing the rules here in the next year or two, because I don't think look, the networks did not want Indiana to be in this game or to win this game. They didn't. They wanted an SEC team, 2 SEC teams, or an SEC team and a Big Ten team, something like that. So it'll be interesting to see how they respond politically to this whole thing.
Jim, this is the first ever for Indiana. You love giving us the trends, the betting trends. Indiana has not been a powerhouse program for long, but man, did they get it done this year?
Yeah, on the text thread last couple of days, I guess me and Izzy and Mike were going back and forth. I guess Izzy wanted to take Miami minus 10.5. Why? Why would you do that if you can get them plus 7.5?
Yeah, you put that into my mind, the minus 6.5. I was like, oh, okay.
That's money in the bank.
Yeah.
You would have cashed. Did you get that bet down?
No, I didn't.
Oh man, I would have.
Okay, so luckily you didn't go that route, Izzy. Were you surprised by the outcome, though? It sounds like you were kind of pulling for Miami. You believed in them.
I did believe Miami was the better team, but Indiana is more coach and more experience. If I'm right, Miami has the highest age average for a team. I think their average age is like 24.9 years or something like that. 23.
That's only because Carson Beck is 71 years old.
No, I'm talking about Indiana.
Oh, I thought you said Miami. My bad.
No. Indiana is the oldest team in college football.
Easy on that 71 shit, Brian.
Damn it.
But congratulations to Indiana. They're a well-coached team, well-put-together team. Congratulations to Fernando Mendoza.
Yeah.
As far as the draft coming up, I believe. I was scrolling NFL Twitter this morning. And it was pretty funny. A lot of fans, they're cut down the middle on what they think Fernando Mendoza is going to be. A lot of them say that he's not going to be that good. He's going to be mediocre. He's an RPO merchant, is what they call it. And that he won't do a lot without his head coach and put into a pro-style offense. But in due time will tell. But, congrats. It was a great game. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, that's interesting to the pro context. I look at Mendoza and I kind of see Jackson Dart. That's about what I see, and that's not bad. If you need a quarterback desperately and somebody says you can get a Jackson Dart, but you're going to have to spend the first pick on him, I think I do. No, I think I do it is. I think if I'm the Raiders, I got no choice unless I can make a trade for somebody else.
When you say Jackson Dart, Mike, that kind of equates somebody that spends a lot of time in the blue tent, though.
Yeah, well, so Jackson Dart if he was healthy, right?
You don't want that.
But that run for the touchdown by Mendoza was very dartish, I thought, and I think he throws the ball about as well. I don't think he's. I think his ceiling is probably Trevor Lawrence, and as we found out this year, Trevor Lawrence is probably good enough if the rest of the team is good enough. So. I think he's a number 1 pick. I don't see any way around it.
Yeah, I knew Miami was in trouble last night when I saw Ray Lewis on the sideline with that bright green fedora on.
He was killing it.
It's like, where the hell did you go? Notre Dame? You look like
I would have been more worried if he was wearing a white suit. But
yeah, and then Michael Irvin. They showed Michael Irvin. He looked like he was in the bag.
Coked out.
Every game.
The only thing he needed there was the corpse of OJ with his gloves on. That would have been topped it all off. Yeah. Anyway.
No, OJ went to USC, Mike.
Yeah, I know that, but
Yes, we must have quit. You guys were kind of, maybe not so high on Mendoza. I put in the text thread, he's special. I think when he came back against Penn State, the way he beat Ohio State, the way he won that, like, how about just that final or that legendary play? What was it, 4th and 5? They had to get the first down, and they called a QB run, and he did that spin, and his trophy.
Yeah, I mean,
his not a trophy. What am I trying to say? Statue on campus is going to be that dive into the end zone. It's going to be.
I mean
that showed a lot of heart.
I thought you were going to say his ceiling was the roof.
Yeah. That run is what reminded me of Jackson Dart. That looked like a Jackson Dart run. So, but again, I don't think he's going to be a great player, but I think he's going to be good enough. And if he's good enough, you got to draft him.
When they say he's an RPO merchant, as you mean a run pass option?
Yeah.
You mean you think he improvises too much?
No, as far as merchant means that you abuse something or that you do it a lot. So pretty much they're saying that he's without the RPO, he's not any good because that's the only thing his coach.
Kind of like a one-trick pony. You call Shea Gilgis
a free throw merchant. Like he goes to the free throw line a lot. Yeah.
So
you could say that about Michael
in the back. James Harden will step back and he'll draw a foul on some.
Yeah, but the biggest thing is that a lot of people are kind of knocking him about the way his coach puts up the scheme. That last night he really didn't throw over the middle a lot. It's either he's going to hand the ball off or he's going to throw a 50-50 ball, jump ball, and that's pretty much all you're going to get from him. I mean, he has the mental capacity to get through a game, to go through his reads, but as far as making the pass and capability of a quarterback, they're not sure if he could do it at an NFL level.
You can't judge that because you don't know what Miami was taking away defensively. I mean, none of us is good enough coach to say maybe they took the middle of the field away and they said, okay, you can have the corners and that's it. So you have to. Yeah,
maybe, but a lot of the season, people haven't seen that much of a different style of play from him. Just the same system quarterback play.
Yeah,
to put it that way.
Do you follow Miami football a lot?
Just last year with Cam Ward.
Who was that offensive left tackle, number 70?
Oh my God, that guy was a giant.
He was one head taller than the tallest guy on that football team.
Oh my God.
He was lifting up defensive linemen and placing them. If he doesn't go,
his name is Markel Bell. He's 6'9".
His last name is Bell.
6'9", sometimes listed as 6'8", senior offensive lineman, primarily left tackle.
He's not 6'8". He's 6'10". If he's 6'.
Yeah, it is huge.
That guy was huge. He's probably still is, but I mean, it was unbelievable how he was manhandling that defensive line. I mean.
Yeah, they have him projected as a day 3 pick, by the way, between rounds 4 and 7.
Yep.
So,
really?
Wow.
The Browns could use some bodies on the line.
I'm taking if I need an offensive lineman, I'm taking a chance on that guy if I get him.
If he's at all trainable and if he can at all listen to coaching, that guy is a monster.
Yeah. Hey, one quick point on this. We can wrap up the college football championship here, but just a little side note that I kind of caught on. The brother of Mendoza will be transferring out of there. The Hoosiers signed TCU transfer quarterback Josh Hoover, who's ESPN's number 6 ranked transfer quarterback earlier this month. So he's entering the transfer portal. Fernando Mendoza's little brother, Alberto Mendoza. So you might have a Peyton Manning, other Manning kind of situation going on, but not at Indiana. So, yeah. In the comments here, hello, Michael. By the way, everyone hit the thumbs up button, hit like, hit subscribe, share the show with a friend. Michael says Miami rushed the hell out of him last night, and he still performed. Yeah. I mean, they came back in the second half. I thought Miami, when Indiana could only get a field goal right there, you go, oh, it's a 7-point game with a couple minutes left. I don't know how to feel about this. But it ended in an interception, and just congrats to him. I like the mom. The mom appears to be a sweetheart. She's got MS, and they wheel her around. Dad doesn't stand up and cheer. They celebrate sitting. they're just very likable. I know that the quarterback always seems like he's cutting a WWE promo or something. He's a little goofy and a little too polished, but they're kind of likable, right? Did you guys rooting for Indiana?
With his polish thing, if you watch some of his high school tape, he's kind of like nonchalant and laid back. So he's kind of learned a thing or two since he started getting on the big screen.
Yeah. What did you guys think of that last interception?
He's trying to make a play downfield. Yeah. I think it looked like the receiver cut the wrong way where he thought he was going and where the receiver was going, and it ended up in the hands of the defender. It happens when it's late in the game and you're desperate, right? So
yeah, just trying to make a big play.
What did you think of that move he did after he caught the ball, though? The interception? What's the college rule? If you go down on one knee, you basically give yourself up?
Yeah, you're down.
You're down by
contact. It looked like he threw the ball down before his knee actually hit the ground, and then he couldn't wait to run into the end zone and rip his helmet off.
Yeah.
Which incurred an unsportsmanlike conduct, and it backed him up another 15 yards. And then Miami, and then Indiana takes the ball, and that very last play, Mendoza had to surge forward to keep from getting a safety. I mean, that showboat move. You looked at the faces of the coach,
Ignetti.
Singetti.
He makes some funny faces.
Oh, I'll tell you what, that pissed him off when that guy did that. I mean, that was a total Stephon Diggs move, when he caught that pass from Case Keenum, and he runs in the end zone and throws his hat off.
Hey, how about Dwayne Rudd when we won the game on the field goal, but he took off his helmet, they threw a flag, they kicked it, and we lost the game. The Browns invent those ways to lose.
They have no presence of mind,
I think it happened last year.
In the game.
Yeah, last year there was, in my opinion, the greatest throw I've ever seen. 5'10" PJ Walker rolled out of the pocket, like 10 seconds left on the clock, launched it 70 yards in the air. In stride to DJ Moore, double covered. He caught the ball. If they make the field goal, they win the game. And DJ tosses his helmet off. It backs him up, and then the kicker misses the extra point, and they end up losing the game in extra time. So,
yeah. Well, let's bounce over to the NFL here. Tell me in the comments section what you thought about the college football championship game.
One more thing too.
Good.
About college. If you guys really want to see a good quarterback prospect that's going to come out in the future, there's just a transfer named Drew Mestemaker. He just transferred from North Texas to Oklahoma State, and he has the best arm talent I've seen in college right now. So,
what, Drew Mestemaker?
Mestemaker, Maker. Yeah.
All right. Thank you for that.
Throw that out there.
All right. Let's bounce over to the game that you were all so happy to see. Mike Bara, Jim Mitchell. This was a ass whooping. Seahawks dominate the Niners from the opening kick. Rashid Shaheed, man, he showed up big time. Very first play of the game, Mike. I mean, just set the tempo, and that's all you needed. That's the only points you needed. That one.
Yeah, kind of a Percy Harvin moment there that set the tone. And look, I mean, the main things I have to say about this is that I was surprised that it was that easy, but I wasn't surprised because I know how good the Seahawks are, and in that context, they should win, and they should have won, and they should win this weekend. But weird things happen in football games, and you're always nervous, but. It was pretty obvious the physical dominance right from the beginning, once again, very similar to the game 2 weeks ago. And, it's the thing about it to keep in mind is that the 49ers are probably no worse than the fifth best team in football. And they did that to them. And that's really amazing. The Rams game, we'll talk about it later, has me on edge because it's the Rams and fluky things can happen in football games and leagues can have agendas on TV markets they won in certain specific games. That all makes me nervous. But, I mean, to me, what cracks me up is I'm going through, all of the famous NFL beat writers. And they're all, of course, East Coast guys. And they're all like, well, who's the best team? I'm like, it's right in front of your face. Who's playing the best football right now? So that's all I can say about it. It's complete dominance, and what can you say? It's a historically great defense, and the offense is really good too. And look, they've lost 3 games this year by a grand total of 15 points, and that they were all 1-possession games, and they won their other 14, 15 games by like 238 points or something insane like that. So it's a good football team. They beat the 49ers. I take no, I don't revel in it too much because I don't feel like the 49ers are much of a rival lately, but it's an impressive win just in every phase of the game. And of course, losing Zach Charbonnet is a big concern for the next week and the next 2 weeks. Not so much the next 2 weeks, but especially next week, this Sunday, because he's a different style runner than Walker, and it gives them a two-headed monster. But one thing I want to point out that we should talk about when we preview the next game is that, look, the Seahawks are not going to be able to run on the Rams the way they were able to run on the 49ers. It wasn't going to happen anyway, whether Charbonnet is there or not, because the Rams have a much better run defense. So if they were going to win, Zach Charbonnet was not going to be the difference between winning and losing next week. But what an impressive victory. And, I was over at Jim Mitchell's house, and it was just comfortable and easy and fun. And it's really not very often that you watch your team and you're like, we got the best team. It's pretty exciting as a fan. So
yeah. In the comments here, Michael Schlupp, he agrees. He thinks he sees the Seahawks and the Patriots in the Super Bowl, by the way. Type in the comments who you think is going to advance to the Super Bowl. We'll try to incorporate that. Jim, you love giving us betting trends. Sam Darnold, this was his very first postseason win. He was rumored to have this oblique injury, and the outlook was bleak. I mean, man, you guys were a bunch of morose MFers in that group thread. I was trying to pump you up. I'm like, relax, you got this. Your defense is incredible. You got a good chance. But he played, and he played pretty well. So what did you take away from the win?
Yeah, Darnold had the biggest betting trend as far as taking this game this week. The game opened at -7 here in Vegas, and it was bet up to 7.5, and it was quickly bought back to 7 with money going back on Santa Clara. But what you brought up, Brian, about Sam Clemente is true. That was the dominating statistic in this game. He was 13-0 straight up as a favorite of 6 or more points, which is just an outstanding stat. And of course, now he is 14-0 straight up. And you almost want that point spread to go up a little bit against the Rams, but I don't think that's going to happen. The Rams are a little more healthier than Santa Clara was, but the good thing that we have going is that the Rams are coming off an overtime game, and they're getting. Mike brought this up to me a couple of days ago. They're off. They've got one less day of practice. Coming off. The Seahawks last played on Saturday, and the Rams had to play Sunday. So
yeah, and it was a late night game on top of overtime.
Yeah,
right.
It's not exactly a short week, but
teams that play OT statistically, historically, get worn out. Especially in that type of environment that they were that the Rams were playing in Chicago.
Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you what, we'll bounce over to the Rams Chicago right after this one as well. Jim, any other thoughts before I throw it to Iz?
No. Take it away, Iz.
Mr. Robinson, what did you make of this one? I mean, it was a domination from the very first play.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy. Like I said, just want one of the two lesser teams that I don't like to win, and the Eagles took out. I mean, the San Francisco 49ers took out the Eagles, and the Seahawks took out the 49ers. So I'm happy for that, and they did in a very, very good fashion, 41 points. So Brock Purdy, he had an okay game, and Sam Darnold, he didn't do too much. 12 for 17, 124, 1 touchdown. He was injured, and Kenneth Walker took over the game. So it just shows where their defense is at and where the team is at. And I said earlier this year, I forgot which team they blew out, but one when the whole team is together and playing as a unit, I don't think anybody beats them, to be honest. So that's kind of my take on it. And as far as for the 49ers, I don't know what's in store for their future as a team. Put it that way.
They're an older team. They're an expensive team. They're a team trying to figure out some positions, wide receiver. But name me a team that doesn't have a few question marks on it.
Yep.
Well, they have to, they have to do some retooling and rebuilding because I don't know. I haven't looked at their cap. I should look at their cap situation here. But
Mike, pull up their cap and let me read this comment real quick.
I like Mr. Foucault's comment here.
All right. Well, Jim, do you want to read Mr. Foucault's comment out?
Yeah, I'm rooting for Seattle. I want Sam Darnold to win the Super Bowl to further embarrass the Jets.
Yeah.
Sam is lucky he survived the Jets.
I think that's the Baker Mayfield chaos theory of,
that's
hey,
pretty
embarrass
good.
the Browns, go get success. Well, Stefanski might prove that with the Falcons. Maybe we'll talk about a couple of the coaching.
Yeah, I
moves.
think Mr. Foucault is balls on with that.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, one other thing about that Seahawk game, it's a stat I dug up after our show. Seattle is 5-0 straight up as a favorite of 7 points or more in the playoffs.
Playoffs.
Oh.
5-0 straight up in the playoffs if they're a favorite of 7 or more. So that's another reason why I want the spread against the Rams to go up to 7.
I see.
there you go. I don't think it's going to happen, but yeah.
Well, when it comes to the playoffs, Mike, you just never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, if it goes up to 7, Mike, I'll bet the Rams.
Playoffs? Don't
Yeah,
talk about
'cause
playoffs.
the postseason.
You kidding me?
No,
Playoffs?
I
I just hope we can win a game.
I'm just coming from a Browns fan. You tell me. All right, Mike, you were pulling up the. Yeah, Jim is just our. I wonder if we should bring Jim in somehow. If we should invite him onto the show and just let him know he's an official mascot of the program. Like, you don't even know the joy you bring us on a weekly basis.
Is he still around? Is he still? He's still with us.
I think Jim is 92. Yeah, he's still with us.
Okay, good.
We gotta reach out. Izzy, you're young. Why don't you go find him? Track him down.
Well,
Right,
if I ever hear about him coming to an event where he's signing or anything like that, I'm gonna go out there and get him to not only talk about the game but also do the playoffs thing.
Like sign your Seahawk that just says playoffs ?
I'm sure nobody's ever asked him to do that before.
I'm sure
Christ.
never ever. Right.
Mike, you were looking up the Niners cap you were taking?
Yeah, their situation is they're over the cap by about $6 million. They're gonna have to if they cut some guys like George Kittle and
Injured.
Colton Mikovits. I have no idea who that is. They can get $20 million. They can create some cap space by getting rid of some of their older players. They should think about Fred Warner. If they cut Warner, Kittle, and Mikovits, they'd have $50 million in cap to spend. They're not going to have a lot of room to spend, and honestly, they haven't drafted very well in the last 5 years. So
Brock Purdy helped a little bit.
yeah, he did, but
The last pick in the draft.
and they took him on a whim, really, and turned out to be such a great player. I'd love to have him for the Seahawks. But having said that, they have to draft better, and they have to. They're going to have to find some players somewhere, and I don't know where they're going to do that. They have a terrific coach, offensive-minded coach, and they were very undermanned. That's true, but even with even if they'd had Warner and Bosa and those guys, they're not going to make up 36 points. So 35 points. They're still going to make it up. So, they got some rebuilding to do, and
Brandon Ayuk. Well, what's the cap hit if they get rid of him?
Okay, if they were to cut Ayuk,
'Cause that's a weird situation with Ayuk over there.
they save shit tons of money. I mean, they go from $6 million over the cap to $35 million under it. So you can count on him being gone. So they got to get new outside speed guys.
Yeah.
To keep if they're going to keep McCaffrey, which they should, because he's probably the best running back in the game.
Yep.
Well, or Derrick Henry, but they got to get some outside speed to really run Shanahan's offense efficiently. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see what happens.
All right. Well, let's bounce over. Yes, Izzy.
I was going to say, do you want to talk about the games first and then the coaches, or do you want to hop on the coach topic?
Which
before we
coach
talk
do you
about the
think
game?
Is it?
I'm just saying in general, all the coaches that got hired this week.
Let's do it after we post the games, unless it's one of the teams that we're covering. I would say.
Yeah, didn't the Dolphins hire somebody yesterday? Did they?
Yeah,
did they
I think
hire
offensive
someone?
coordinator.
I've never heard of the guy. Yeah.
Izzy, why don't you pull up the official list of who got hired where? Yeah, we know about the Falcons. We know about the Giants, the Dolphins. Yeah, coaching carousel time for sure. We'll get to that right after we recap the games here on Strictly Football. Tell a friend, the best football roundtable on the internet. Okay, so this game was incredible. I just stood up in my chair and just yelled. This was Caleb doing special stuff. Sometimes it takes that, main character energy from a former number 1 overall pick to do stuff like you saw out of Mendoza in college, and then you saw it from Caleb Williams. But sadly, it turned into just not quite enough to get it done. Overtime,
Host up.
I'm still here. Nimbus decided I was done talking. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So here, I'm going to throw it to you. I think I might have to refresh my screen because he took my camera offline. But Mike, talk about the Bears almost winning this one and the Rams doing enough to get it done.
What a wild game. What a crazy game. Caleb had a great game at times, that amazing pass. I mean, there was a Russell Wilson pass in the playoffs against the Packers championship game that was like that, where he runs around and loses yardage and throws the ball up and the guy catches it. This was similar, except it was about 30 yards farther back. Unbelievable play.
Awesome.
It shows you how talented the guy is. But then, he had 3 interceptions. He made some bad mistakes. They might not have all been his fault. That last interception, again, might have been a case where he thought the receiver was supposed to go one way and he goes the other way. It's hard to know that. But what a wild game. And another, this is the second week the Rams escaped by the skin of their teeth. They probably should. If the Panthers receivers could catch, they would have lost to the Panthers. And, if the Bears didn't shoot themselves in the foot with some weird coaching decisions, they probably would have lost this game. So, I don't know. It was a weird game. It was a wild game. 2 good teams. Stafford was very efficient when he had to be. He was also very average when they pressured him, which shows me that, like, for next week's game, what you got to do is you got to bring extra pressure. You got to say to yourself, okay, he's maybe going to carve us up on the blitz, but what we saw last week is that he's also going to make mistakes. Somebody listed, there were 5 turnover-worthy plays that the Rams had in that game, and they did not turn the ball over. Two or three passes that should have been intercepted, and 2 or 3 fumbles that they recovered.
Yes, Stafford did have 2 fumbles.
Yeah, so that's wild that they got away with all that stuff. But, they had the Rams are an excellent team. They persevered in tough conditions, and you got to give them a lot of credit. And I'm really glad it went to overtime and they had to play 80 defensive snaps and all that stuff, because it's hopefully going to hurt them next week. But, I think it's so hard because Caleb giveth and Caleb taketh away. It's like he shows you the incredible talent, and then he has the bad plays, and you wonder. I just don't know. I don't know what he's going to be yet. Is he going to take that next step into being a superstar, or is he going to continue to make these mistakes? And I don't know. I don't know the answer.
Well, Mike, I would toss out in that line of questioning. It's a good point, but sometimes it takes 4, 5, 6, 7 years. We're still wondering about Trevor Lawrence, and still wondering about Baker, and still wondering about Darnold. Still what? Well, they have talent for sure. But yeah,
there was a part of me as a Seahawks fan that wants to play the Bears because the Bears are not as good as the Rams, and I don't want to play the Rams again. And I know the Rams can beat us because they did. But on the other hand, Caleb is that wild card that you just can't account for, that can make plays out of nothing with his legs. I think maybe he needs to do more of that. I think maybe he needs to scramble a little bit more and try to make fewer plays with his arm and more plays with his legs. Be more Lamar, be more Russ, be more Mahomes. Well, Mahomes is more of a passer than.
Well, that was the point I was starting to make, and then I went off on another tangent. But I was going to say, you bring it up all the time. All of the interceptions that were magically reversed by the refs with Mahomes.
Yeah,
I don't know that Mahomes would have been Mahomes if he wouldn't have had all the assistance of the referees all those years.
Yeah,
it takes some divine intervention or Vegas mob intervention.
He'd have at least one fewer Super Bowl ring, I can tell you that. But yeah,
maybe more.
You know,
Yeah,
I think
maybe
this
more.
game just illustrates the enigma of Caleb Williams. What is he?
Yeah. Well, let me ask Izzy that question. I'm going to skip over.
Ask
Jim
Izzy,
for-
what is he?
What is he?
Did I
Izzy?
just say that? What is he? Is he?
Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. But Marion here in the comments says Caleb may have Dak Prescott syndrome. Some days are good, some are not. What do you say to that, Izzy?
Yeah, I say early onset Dak Prescott syndrome.
Early onset.
Yeah, Dak, he's changed over the time, and he's a better quarterback than he was a couple years ago. But Caleb Williams, I saw something that I forgot how it went, but it said some under the lines that NFL quarterbacks today have arm talent, but there's two different kinds of arm talent. You have arm talent like Justin Herbert, who could just sling the ball 50 yards down the field on a dime, or you have arm talent where you got like Caleb Williams or Patrick Mahomes, where they run around, make a play, they still throw the ball 50 yards, but they're able to do it in unstandard. I don't know the right word, but
Unconventional.
Unconventional positions, and they still do it on an accurate basis.
Off-camera throws. They call them off-camera throws, like you come out of weird places, right?
Maybe
exactly.
Sidearm in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly like that. And I do believe that's what Caleb Williams has. Going around trying to make a play, do a lot, and then you have him in the pocket where he just stands still, and he tries to make something happen, as we see on the final interception of the game. It most likely was a miscommunication with that throw. But I really don't want to see DJ Moore get bashed that much for him. Fans are saying, oh, he stopped. Yeah, he probably did stop, but your quarterback did throw, 3 or 4 interceptions that game. So take a little bit of pressure off of DJ Moore. But yeah, I mean, Caleb Williams, he has all the talent in the world, and he has time to develop under a great coach and under a great supporting offensive cast. And next year is going to be better for him, and the year after, hopefully. Luckily, he has, like I said, the coaching staff around him. So I highly doubt we're going to see a CJ Stroud kind of a problematic situation over there. But I mean, yeah, the Bears, they almost squeaked out with it. Hail Mary throw at the end. I do believe the Rams, they fought a tough game. They fought a tough game, and they came out on top. So, and the snow too, in the Chicago snow, respectively.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. What I liked about that scramble like that, it was almost one of those quintessential moments of a career. That usually happens when you win the game, unfortunately for Caleb. But I liked how he like moved one way and then he rolled he like faked everybody out like they practiced it that way. It was like just a very subtle, I'm going to fake one way and go the other to roll out and make this happen. I think it was very well coached. And of course it paid off, but short in the end there, Jim. They weren't able to get the victory, and the Rams are advancing to play your favorite team. So what did you take away from this?
Yeah, I thought that was a lot of momentum in favor of Chicago when he did that. I mean, he ran backwards like 18 yards, and I'm thinking, oh, Christ, why are you doing this? You're going to get nailed. But, the Rams defense, their defensive line was, gassed at that point. It was late in the game, and he threw that pass. I mean, and Loveland caught that pass in the end zone, and that was
Kmet.
That was Cole Kmet.
Yeah.
Right.
Was it Kmet? Yeah.
Yeah, it was Kmet.
I thought it was Loveland. Okay.
Yeah, and I mean that flipped, but it was too little, too late at that point. It was too far in the game, but. This game opened at 3.5 Rams favored, which made Chicago a home dog. And you know how I feel about home dogs, especially in the playoffs. And this was my third game on my parlay, and I had the Bears in this game, and we've been talking about this all year on this show. If you get that half point, and you got a home dog, I mean, it's worth looking at. And that half point, the score landed 2017, and it tells you, the guys in Vegas know something.
Yeah.
Yeah, And the over-under in this game opened at 51.5, which is way high for this game. And then the weather forecast started coming in with the snow. And when we start getting weather forecasts like that, the point spreads will start coming down. And it did. First it went to 51, and then it jumped from 51 to 48.5. So people were betting the under in this game. So the sports books probably got hammered on the under in this game, but as far as the point spread, I think there was even money on the Rams and the Bears back and forth, and that's ultimately what the sports books want. Is they want an even money on either side of that number. But
margins.
The Rams statistically going into this game, I mean, they were the marginally favorite, to cover that number. I mean, they were 9-3 as a road favorite against the spread, and all these numbers are against the spread. 11-4 on the road, 11-5 as a favorite. I mean, the Rams statistically dominated. The two things that the Bears dominated the Rams were the Bears were 12-4 straight up going into this game. And if you can get a team straight up, and plus you're getting points, that tells you that's a good bet. Bears 7-1 straight up at home, and that was probably the deciding factor for me to go ahead and take the Bears in this game. Matthew Stafford 1-8 straight up when the temperature is under 40 degrees, and it was well under 40 degrees. I mean, there was wind chill factor in this game. We'll get to this game later, but it's forecasted to be at this point, I think, under 40 degrees in Seattle coming up this week.
Oh, good. Okay, because it didn't work out for me last week.
That's good for us. I was all over the weather last night figuring these numbers out. So,
one thing I want to say, I think next year is make or break for Caleb Williams. I really do. You look at their roster. And you mentioned Cole Kmet and Colston Loveland and DJ Moore and Romo Dunze and Luther Burden. He's really got to bring it in the passing game next year, and they really have to get over the hump. People have to really say there's no more questions really about Caleb Williams. Next year, he's got an excellent offensive coach, and I really do think it's make or break for them offensively next year. You're going to know everything you need to know about Caleb Williams after next year. Be his third year in the pros. He's got all that talent. He's got the coaching. You can't say he doesn't have the talent around him. The only thing I might say is, okay, go get yourself a great running back, and add that. But if you add that, I mean, the Bears should be right there next year.
He feels like shit. What did he have, Mike? 3 interceptions in that game?
Yeah, 3 interceptions.
He gets one of those interceptions back. The Bears win this game.
So, I mean, there's no excuses next year for Caleb. He's going to have all the talent in the world around him, and I think if the Bears are smart, they're taking a running back in the first round, the best one they can get their hands on.
Oh, man.
See what happens,
Yeah.
Sunday evening media here. What's up? Hit like, hit subscribe. Says 48 degrees at kickoff time is what they are seeing. 48 degrees. Izzy, you said, oh, man. What were you thinking?
If they were to get the best running back in the draft, it'd be a Heisman finalist, Jeremiah Love, and that'd be a wild offense. But, I agree. If Caleb Williams, I say that some teams, they have the offensive weapons. I mean, as soon as they got Caleb Williams, they traded. They got Colston Loveland. They traded for 2 offensive linemen, signed some guys, and he has 3 receivers: DJ Moore, Romo Dunze, Luther Burden, Colston Loveland, Cole Kmet. How much more could you ask for Caleb to do with that team? You expect them to perform, and I completely agree. Next year is the make or break, and
I expect him to get better than 2 touchdowns and 3 interceptions.
Yeah, exactly. At your home in your weather.
To be fair, it's against the Rams, who have a very good defense.
Oh, right? The Rams do have a very good defense, but
it's not like they lost to some bums. And I think Kyle Monagai and I think DeAndre Swift are really good running backs too. I think.
Yeah, but how you evaluate a quarterback though is how does he play in the big games against the good teams? That's what makes a champion, right? We're not talking about you didn't draft this guy to make the playoffs. You drafted this guy to win Super Bowls.
What's that?
So he's got to show you that he can do that next year.
Playoffs? What are you talking about? Playoffs?
Yeah, not the
You
regular
kidding me?
season.
Playoffs?
No, because
I
it's
just hope we can win a game.
Just hope we can win a game.
Yeah.
all that important. All right. Any final thoughts on this game, folks, before we bounce?
Yeah, who was that fired in that weather forecast for you, Brian? Was that Stephanie Abrams?
Sunday evening media. Why?
I got
Well, I got a high of 44 degrees in Seattle, and
Yeah.
game time is 15:30 hours. That's 3:30 specific time for all you civilians, and 44 degrees is a high.
yeah.
I'll
It
tell you
looks
what,
like,
by at least halftime, it's going to be 39 degrees if anybody's ever been to that stadium in Seattle.
okay, well, it says mid 40s. It says mid 40s on Yahoo Weather, but you never
Yeah,
know.
as a high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The low is 30.
Sunday evening media said the Bears should draft Mark Fletcher Jr. I mean, that would be a great add to that offense. So
Yeah.
Well, it is.
that'd be great.
But I mean,
Send
am I
Matthew
crazy?
Stafford
I mean,
some
isn't that what you guys would do if you were the Bears? I'd look to add
Yeah.
a running back to that list, a really
Because-
high quality running back.
The way I see the Bears, they finished bottom 5 in rushing yards last year, and this year they finished top 5 in rushing yards. All respect to their offensive line that they built. I mean, they have a DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monungai. Swift, the biggest thing the Bears I hear from Bears fans is that he doesn't like to get too vertical. He likes to go horizontal. He keeps trying to move around, make too much happen, and I mean, he had a pretty good season. Same thing with Kyle Monungai. But if they get a legitimate young legs and a pretty decent running back that they could get in the draft, I mean, the offense opens up more, as we saw with Jonathan Taylor. They can run a lot more play action and fake out teams and see where it goes. So,
Well, let's bounce from this game over to another cold weather game. Oh, the Houston Texans. Wow. That is a story of turnovers, Mike. Turnover. And I think I would assume they're going to have turnover at the offensive coordinator position or at the quarterback position. Not sure what to make of CJ Stroud, who's taken some steps back. The New England Patriots, my God, the Browns had Mike Vrabel on the sidelines in the team facility, helping coach us for week after week after week.
And you
He's a
didn't hire
special
him.
advisor, and we let him walk out the door for some unknown reason. And he's got those Patriots in the AFC title game. They win 28-16.
Let him off the hook.
We had him, and we let him off the
Let
hook.
him off the hook.
We let him off the hook. We got to find that Dennis Green clip.
Oh.
They are who we thought they were. Look, again, this was an easy game in some ways for the Patriots because they're facing a very incomplete team, and it's like this all falls on C.J. Stroud. I mean, his coaching has got to be shit. His coaching is not what it was when he was a rookie, but that performance was abysmal. And this is a guy who can do it. We've already seen him do it at the pro level, and it's weird because it was his first rookie year, and then the first half of his second year, he was really good, and then something happened, and I don't know what it is. I'm not a coach. There are other guys out there that are saying, well, he needs to be in this scheme and running this kind of offense, a Kubiak offense or whatever it is. But he looks lost out there. 1 touchdown, 4 interceptions. It should be the opposite of that. When he was a rookie, he had like 28 touchdown passes. I forget what it was, but he had a 4-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio. That is phenomenal, not just for a rookie, but for anybody. That's like Aaron Rodgers, Russ level TD interception ratio. So I don't know. I mean, there's people talking about Lamar for CJ and all these weird trades. Don't be surprised. I mean, I would have to say I would have laughed at that the first week of the year, but now, what do you do with CJ Stroud? You got to bring in a completely new offense.
Lamar's hanging up the cleats.
By the way, I found the clip we were referencing.
4 picks against Grossman and 2 fumbles. What do you see about the Bears? Would shut them down that way?
No, we just the Bears are what we thought they were. We just the Bears are what we thought they were. They're what we thought they were. We played them in preseason. Who the hell takes a third game in the preseason like it's bull? We played them in the third game. Everybody played 3 quarters. The Bears are who we thought they were. And that's why we took the damn field. Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were. And we let him off the hook.
We let him off the hook.
We let him off.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach. Out of here.
And he's a
The
done.
late great Dennis Green, no longer with us. Too
Well,
bad.
yeah, that was a big Minnesota let him go. I mean, that was horseshit. He was a good coach.
Well, you know, when I first moved to Minnesota, he was the coach there, and everybody was complaining about how all they ever did was make the playoffs and maybe win a game and, you know, maybe 2 games, and everybody was complaining and wanted to get rid of him. And I'm like, I was just coming from Seattle where we hadn't made the playoffs since like 88, you know, and it was like 97. And I mean, don't complain about what you got.
He had Randy Moss and Chris Carter too, didn't he, Mike?
Yeah, and I mean, that team should have gone to the '98 Super Bowl, and it was really just a Gary Anderson. He hasn't missed a kick all year. He's 38 for 38.
That's right. I forgot that.
People going in a dome in the championship game that would have locked it up. So it was just a fluky thing.
Was that Robert Griffith at running back? Robert Smith.
Robert Smith,
great runner, but always got hurt at the worst time in that game. You know,
Smith.
Well, this was a game of turnovers, Jim. It was back and forth. Neither team really wanted to hold on to the ball. Maybe it was brutal cold. Maybe they didn't deflate gate the balls enough. But my God, I mean, nobody could really keep a handle on the Rock in this one.
We back on the New England game here, Ryan?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, this game opened at 2.5 and was quickly bet up to 3 Patriots, which was a very conservative number. I thought. I mean, I like the Patriots in this game. I did not. This was the only game I didn't bet this week, and of course, in retrospect, you know, I wish I had. But the over/under opened at 40.5 and was quickly bet up to 41.5. So the Texans going into this game were 10-0 straight up, and we talked about this last week. You know, that was were they really 10-0 straight up going into this game? And you know, Mike had that question, and I questioned it when I was doing the numbers prior to the game. And I actually physically looked back at all my sheets, and yeah, they were 10-0 going into this game. But I also found a stat, and I found this stat after the show, unfortunately. Texans 0-6 straight up in the divisional playoffs. 0-6 in divisional playoffs. Now they're 0. What are they, guys? 0-7 in the divisional playoffs.
Single 07, yeah.
Right. Patriots just as strong, 14-1 straight up going into this game. Probably a little stronger number as far as the bettors are concerned. 12-3 against the spread, which is a 4-1 favorite. You know, if you like the Patriots in this game, and at 2.5 and absolutely 3 without the half point, you had to take the Patriots in this game. And you would have, going into third quarter, you would have felt real good about your bet. You know, the number landing on the number landing on 12. You know, which is a real nice comfort zone going to the end of the game. But yeah, Patriots favored in this game. Real good snow game, a good game to watch. And I agree with Mike. Something's happened with. PJ Stroud.
The thing is, there's nothing wrong with their football team except the quarterback.
Yeah, what did he turned the ball over 4 times in this game, did he not?
It should be better than this. What's going on? Where is the disconnect? I don't get where the disconnect is.
Yeah.
Maybe there was a hand injury on this one that has been there for a couple of weeks. Izzy, what say you? Take it away.
Yeah, not at all. If there was a hand injury, we probably would have known about it because he's been playing pretty mediocre for the past couple weeks. And I like to agree with Mike. I mean, his rookie year, he had a game where he threw for 400 yards and 3 touchdowns. What happened to that? No mess ups. And it was against the Buccaneers. I said this last week, against the Buccaneers in a 33-35 shootout.
Yeah.
And
it's a new offensive coordinator in the last couple of years, but that's got to be the problem, or the quarterback's coach or something. I mean, Mike McDaniel, if he doesn't get a head coaching job, if I'm the Texans, I'm bringing him in and saying, fix this guy.
Exactly.
I don't know what's going on. I just don't. The thing is, I've never seen this, Izzy. I've never seen a guy that was that great just fall apart like this.
By the way, go ahead, Izzy.
Oh, and I can agree that he is out Nico Collins and Tank Dell, but they still have playmakers on the field that can make things happen. And you can't let those two players not having them be an excuse for you throwing 4 interceptions. So, I mean, and it was a completely winnable game too. If he erases half of those, he throws 2 picks, they still possibly win that game if he just plays a little bit better. The word I'm saying is if, though. But Will Anderson, he had a phenomenal game. He had 3 sacks and 2 forced fumbles, 2 TFLs.
Yeah,
he played his heart out. The defense limited him to 28 points off of 4 turnovers. That's incredible that they didn't get blown out worse than that. What were you gonna say, Brian?
Yeah, sorry, I don't mean to keep talking over you. My apologies.
No, I agree.
But let's keep in mind the leading rusher on the Houston Texans was Woody Marks with 17 yards on 14 carries. There was 0 running game giving C.J. Stroud any help. And regarding the hand injury, his throwing hand struck the helmet of center Jake Andrews on a play earlier in the game. Sideline reporter Laura Rutledge, noted he was dealing with a hand issue to his throwing hand looking at it on the sideline. He downplayed it after the game, saying, I got hit, but that happens every game. It didn't really affect it.
Probably does happen every game.
Get some blood flow back in, but it didn't really affect me in many ways. But, yeah, I mean, they've taken steps back, but no running game to speak of. They're a good team. They're not good enough. They got holes in the team for sure.
Yeah, but
get it done. Good.
Even then, they had a worse team his rookie year. They didn't have a team anywhere towards this caliber. They didn't have a defense anywhere towards this caliber his rookie year, and it shows. So a lot of Texans fans are asking, like, what do we do with CJ now? Do we get him help? A lot of them are saying that we get him help, but a lot of them are very, very mad that you go out into Gillette Stadium and you put up 1 touchdown and 4 interceptions, and it's like, what are we doing here? It's just a weird fall off, a weird dynamic that's happening. Hopefully, if the front office and the Texans are coherent enough to get them some help, they do that this offseason. And if they don't, then we're just going to see the same thing from C.J. Stroud next year, unfortunately.
Yeah, what if the Browns can trade for another Houston Texans quarterback? It worked out so well for us last time. Maybe we could try that again.
Ohio, or the question is, Ohio State quarterbacks don't work out in the NFL.
All right,
we don't know.
We'll see how CJ retools next year, but New England looks real, guys.
Yeah. Oh, well, on the New England topic, I mean, what a great game. Mike Vrabel was a good head coach. Three touchdowns, 1 interception from Drake May. Just a way to get his playmakers the ball deep down the field is a good thing that Drake May can do. The biggest thing about the team is that a lot of people are saying that the schedule they had to get to where they are. And, I mean, coming up, the AFC Championship, this team goes against Jarrett Stidham, the backup quarterback from
everything broke their way.
From the Patriots.
Yeah, exactly. Everything's going their way, and it's like, all right, what happens? That's why I said once they get to the NFL champ, I mean, they got to win the game first, but once they get to the NFL Championship, the Super Bowl, I highly doubt they'll win that game because the quality of football play that they've had encountered through the past couple of weeks is nothing on par with what the teams in the NFC have seen, especially during the playoffs.
The thing about the Patriots that I think is that they're not great at anything, but they're really good at everything. You know, they don't like. Is their defense shitty? No. Are their linebackers shitty? No. Their secondary is okay. Their receivers are pretty good. Their running game's pretty good. Running game's really good, actually. It's just, and their quarterback's really good. And so it's like they're just a solid team. And then like you said, they've had a lot of breaks in the schedule, and who they've played and when they've played them. That's probably helped them get to this point. But they're
a jack of all trades, a master of none.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Any final thoughts on Patriots Texans, fellas?
Nope.
All right. Speak now or forever hold your peace. The Denver Broncos advance in overtime. This is maybe the most controversial game of the week for fairly obvious reasons, depending on who you ask. The Buffalo Bills, man, that is the team that I was rooting for. That's who I really just rooting for their fan base, rooting for that city. Sadly, this will not be the year. There was no Patrick Mahomes or Joe Burrow or Lamar Jackson standing in the way, and Josh Allen could not get it done. Some might argue he did enough. The refs screwed the pooch on this one. Mike, take it away. What say you?
It was a catch. He caught the ball. He never lost control. He was down on the ground with a knee and was contacted by the defender before the defender ripped it out. It was a catch. The Bills should have been kicking a field goal for the win. This is the same as last year against the Chiefs when Josh Allen sneaks, clearly gets the first down, and the refs take it away from him. I don't know what's going on. All I can say is there seems to be a conspiracy to keep the Bills from winning important divisional playoff games.
Awful.
Because they should have won last year. If the refs do their job, they should have won this year. And I mean, everybody who's defending this interception call, the ball came loose when he hit. No, it fucking doesn't come loose. You want me to put it up there on the screen? The guy, Cook, catches the ball and doesn't release it until the guy tears it out of his hands, and he's already on the ground, touchdown. So that pisses me off. Having said that, Josh Allen.
Set that aside for just a second, because there's more to talk about, but that it does.
Josh Allen's got to take better care of the ball. The one thing people are saying, he threw the ball backwards. His arm pretty clearly gets hit and knocks the ball out, but he's being careless with the ball. As talented as this guy is, you gotta do the fundamentals, Josh. You gotta be basic on some of this stuff. I can't say that any of those that cost them the game. That call costs them the game because you're either kicking the ball from the 20-yard line for a field goal to win the game, or you're turning the ball over and you lose the game. That's kind of what it came down to. And then the Bo Nix thing is maybe the most bizarre fucking thing I've ever seen in football. I literally, second to the last play of the game, you're basically just like killing the clock and you break your ankle. How does that happen? It must have just been that the ankle was ready to break anyway. And just snap. Like, that's usually what an Achilles thing is. Usually a guy, I've got a sore calf or something like that, and then the Achilles pops. I don't understand that. It's bizarre. I have no explanation for it. I'm not a doctor. I don't know how a guy can break his ankle on such a simple play either. It doesn't look like an impact, but the Broncos are screwed. Now, we'll talk about that when we get to their game, but without Bo Nix, I mean, wow, I think forget it, but weird game, and I hate that it came down to the officials. They should have stayed out of it, and they should have reviewed that. They should have carefully reviewed that play. And everybody who's arguing that it was an interception, they're saying, the ball was moving. The ball wasn't moving. He caught it. He goes to the ground. He has it the entire time. The only reason it moved is because the other guy ripped it out, but unfortunately he ripped it out after he was down. Simultaneous possession. Bills football at the 20-yard line. That's what should have happened.
So you're saying you're not a doctor, Mike?
I'm not a doctor, but I'm
not a doctor, damn it.
I mean, I'm a doctor, damn it.
I'm a conspiracy theorist.
I'm a doctor, damn it.
I'm not a doctor.
Damn it, Jim, I'm a doctor, not a tailor. But people that are blaming Josh Allen, I don't think it's very fair. But he had a pretty good game. He had a good enough game to win. They just didn't, and a lot of things went into that. They played very well, and they almost won, and it's a damn shame because the Bills are a good story. They're a fun story, but they're out of the playoffs again, and they're looking for a new coach. They're looking for a brand new coach, and I gotta believe that John Harbaugh probably stabbed himself in the nuts when he found out the Bills fired McDermott because I took the Giants job? Really? When Josh Allen and the Bills just came available?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, is this ink dry on the contract yet?
Oh, yeah, they took him to the facility yesterday. Yeah, wow. I don't know. Wow.
Yeah, wild stuff. My heart aches for that fan base is what I'm saying. Jim, it's tough to play in Mile High. We know that for the betting trends.
This game first opened here in Vegas as Bills being favored by 1 point, it was immediately bet the other side to Broncos minus 1.5. So the money was going in on the Broncos side based on this stat. The Bills are 1-8 straight up on the road in the playoffs. 1-8. And that's why that number went from Buffalo to Denver.
I got to put a very small on here to see if we can get this, Mike.
How is that not a catch?
Just for the
bad call.
Even said that. I don't know, but anyway.
Yeah, the play is done. It's just you got to follow it through the continuation of the play. Like when it's you got to. Oh well, he had the touchdown, but then somebody ripped it out. It doesn't. Once you're in the end zone, it's done. It's a touch. Well, he didn't hold on to it through the. What are we talking about?
And they had basically the exact same play in the Bears game, in the Bears-Rams game, and they called it the opposite. So like,
he did.
What sense is this?
I think you shared that on your Instagram. You did the side-by-side, top and bottom on there. Follow Mike.
That makes sense too.
Yeah, going into this game, Josh Allen was 5-0 against the spread when the line is 2.5 or less. So when the line is close, you count on Josh Allen winning the game and covering the spread. Conversely, Denver was 13-1 straight up at home this year, and part of last year combined. Bo Nix 9-4 against the spread as a home favorite. Bo Nix was 14-3 straight up at home. So a lot of those numbers were just screaming that Denver was going to win the game. But on the field, I agree with Mike. I don't believe they won the game on the field. I think the Bills should have won that game, the way that game went. But it's just, and I texted Mike right away, at the end of the game, McDermott's gone.
Yeah.
He's gone.
Right. Is he a good
coach?
That next level, right?
Is he a good coach?
What type of coach would you say he is? Yeah.
I think he's a good coach.
Give him the keys to the kingdom?
I just think he's snake bit, In fact, on one of the, I don't know if you guys watch Peyton's Places.
Yeah,
with Peyton Manning, they did it. They hit it a whole episode on the Bills being snake bit, and Josh Allen was the guest. They put all this mojo shit in a barrel, and they threw it over the fence and over Niagara Falls, and they watched the barrel go over, and that was supposed to relieve the curse. And Scott Norwood, wide right. It just goes back before Izzy was born. I mean,
I hate to keep harping on it, right? But you go back to last year, 4th and 1 to lock the game up, and Josh Allen makes it, and they don't give it to him. They take it away and they review it, and everybody can see that he made the line to gain, and that loses the like. How is that McDermott's fault?
And the conspiracy theorists are screaming, "Oh, Buffalo's a small market," and all this shit.
Makes sense.
I don't know. You tell me if you get a team that's won a Super Bowl in the last 15 years versus a team that's a city that's everybody loves the underdog. We love rooting for the underdog.
Yes.
Small market city. I feel like more people would want to bet on them for that exact reason.
Yeah, I
don't get that. I feel like the league is missing out on that.
It's not they're like Cleveland, and never been there. They've been to the Super Bowl 4 times.
We've been to NFL championships, just not
4 consecutive years. As we all know.
Yeah, Izzy, you know what Bills actually stands for when they lost those 4 Super Bowls?
Here it comes.
Anyone remember what Bills stands for?
No.
Boy, I love losing Super Bowls. So that's the Bills. Izzy, what did you make of this game?
That's terrible, Brian.
It's pretty good. I think it's good.
That's terrible.
What say you, Iz?
Yeah, it was a good game. That interception, Joe Burrow, he tweeted last night. He said both those calls, or Sunday night, he said both those calls are correct. What the refs made, the one against the Bears and Rams, and the one against the Broncos and Buffalo Bills. Yeah, you can pull it up. He was like, if you look in the NFL rule book, what the refs made or the correct decision, something like that. Just
And
look
by
on
the way,
Twitter.
that's spoken like a true political statesman, by the way. Someone that wants to get the calls in their favor in the future. I side with the refs. Well, what a bold stance there, Joe. But, Joe Cool.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, Josh Allen, I mean, he tried to work with what he could. I mean, his running back's amazing. James Cook had 120 yards. He had Dalton Kincaid, Khalil Shakir, and a couple other guys probably elevated from the practice squad that they allowed to play out there. But unfortunately, they did lose in overtime. Playoff overtime seems to be the curse of the Bills for the 21st century. But Bo Nix, he played a pretty good game, 279, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Yeah. Not too much going down on the running game, trying to get air the ball out to the receivers. And they did good, 30-33. So it's an amazing win. The biggest question is, Bo Nix gets hurt, fractures his ankle. Coach comes out right after the game and says, "Yep, our quarterback's done for." And it's funny because you saw him walk off the field like nothing happened, like it was completely there. But you got Jarrett Stidham, the what's it called, XFL top 3 quarterback coming into play. So it's pretty funny to see that.
Stidham era begins.
Yep. And Ben DiNucci, though backup, he got a couple of games started for the Broncos. 2 years ago, the old Cowboys backup. They're elevated. They're calling him up just in case. So
I read somewhere yesterday where Jarrett Stidham hasn't taken an NFL snap in 2 seasons.
Yep.
Yeah. No, he had one kneel down. He did take one kneel down snap, as I understand it, but he hasn't thrown a pass in 2 seasons. Good. And by the way, do you know who the Denver Broncos' highest paid player is this year?
Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson. $38 million. Yeah.
Bobby Bonilla.
It's going to be, you know what, as a Russ fan, it's going to be really interesting to see how Stidham does in this game. I wish him all the luck in the world, but we'll see. We'll see how good your backup quarterback is, Sean. We'll see.
Yeah. Well, this is set the table now. We know who the AFC Championship game is going to contain, and that's of course going to be the Broncos hosting New England, which is interesting, and then the Seahawks hosting the Rams. Real quick,
you want to talk about the coaching thing?
Right before we get to the coaches, there's some stuff that happened very recently today I just wanted to touch upon. They've named the NFL Rookie Defensive Player of the Year and the Offensive Player of the Year without looking. Do you guys know who it is, or do you want to make a guess? If you know,
they'll both be East Coast players, though. I can guarantee you that.
All right, Mike, make a guess. Who would you guess is offensive and defensive?
Who offensive rookie of the year and defensive?
Offensive rookie of the year, defensive rookie of the year.
Well, I mean, look, offensive rookie of the year would be Gray Zabel, who's one of the best guards in the NFL, period, not just rookie guards. And defensive rookie of the year would be Nick Ingram, who just dominates every game that he's in. But it's going to go to some East Coast guy. So who is it?
All right, Jim, what's your guess?
I'm sorry to be a Seahawk homeboy, but that's who should win it.
Gotcha. Jim, what do you guess? Rookie of the year? Offense, defense? Who knows?
I got no idea, Brian.
Izzy's got thoughts. Go ahead. No cheating.
Did you cheat? No. I'm not so sure of offensive rookie of the year. My brain's not working right now, but defensive, either Nick Ingram or Donovan Ez'Ryel. That'd be my guess.
All right. Well, the offensive rookie of the year goes to wide receiver Tedaroya McMillan.
Oh, McMillan, yeah. Okay.
McMillan of the Carolina Panthers. He had a very good year.
What the hell's his first name?
Tedaroya.
He dropped like 3 passes in that playoff game last week.
Playoffs.
Really? Anyway, go ahead.
He dropped 3. It's a pretty good wide receiver one, I think.
Who was the defensive rookie?
James Pierce. Is it James Pierce?
No, defensive rookie of the year is linebacker Carson Schlesinger.
Schlesinger. Oh, my God, yeah.
The number 1 pick in the second round. The guy is instantly one of the best linebackers in the league. Super excited for him. And really, it was maybe the pick of Carson Schlesinger, among a few others, that kept Andrew Berry in his job as general manager of the Browns. Otherwise, he was going to go with Stefanski. So, we could parlay this now into the coaches. We talked about Stefanski going to the Falcons. Start with you, Mike.
Let me share the coaching opening.
Coaching tree.
As it stands now, it's a little weird. Okay, so the the Giants hired John Harbaugh, and like I said, I think Harbaugh is kicking himself for not waiting a little longer because he could have had the Bills job. Much more complete team. Falcons hired Stefanski. Don't know how that's going to work. Dolphins hired nobody I've ever heard of. Jeff Hafley? What's his name? Jeff
Hafley.
And the Titans made the Robert Saleh mistake and hired Robert Saleh, which I mean, I'm bringing in a guy who's an offensive mind to work with Cam Ward. But
Who hired Hafley?
The Dolphins.
Really? And Titans hired Saleh?
Yeah. Apparently today. Yeah.
Wow. Who did the Browns hire?
I think we should probably give it to former NFL head coach Jim Schwartz, who has
what you're saying, Brian, is that hasn't happened yet, right? What were they waiting for?
The openings that are left are the Bills, the Ravens, the Steelers, the Raiders, the Browns, and the Cardinals. Basically, the entire AFC North there, Ravens, Steelers, Browns, almost is open, right?
And how does Zach Jackson still have a job, by the way? But the whole AFC North with the Bengals could be open if we wanted.
Is this the next coach that the Browns are going to fire? They haven't figured it out yet.
No, they haven't
the great coaches that Cleveland has had.
Yeah, we need a jersey just like the quarterbacks.
We don't even need to talk about Paul Brown, but some of the great coaches that Cleveland's had that they have fired.
Marty Schottenheimer, Bill Belichick. These are legendary.
Amber Gigliano, Bill Belichick. And a coordinator,
Saban.
You might have heard of him, Nick Saban.
Yeah.
Multi-time executive of the year, I believe.
Eric Mangini. They let Mangini go.
Yeah.
Not for nothing. Kevin Stefanski's a good coach.
I don't believe that. We'll find out. Two-time coach of the year has rarely showed so little for the efforts. Izzy, what do you make of the coaching tree here? A couple of those moves up on the screen. 4 have been hired, and there's 2, 4, 6 openings.
I mean, those teams. They get good people. I'm not so sure about the Robert Saleh play. I mean, it helps a bad team on the defensive side, and hopefully you hire a coordinator to get in there. Robert Saleh did say that if he were to get a head coaching job, he'd like to bring Mike McDaniel in as offensive coordinator, but I'm not so sure Mike McDaniel wants to take a job as coordinator with a pretty bad team.
McDaniel should go to the Texans and try to fix Stroud.
Yeah, I mean, if the Texans want him to, but besides that, the other teams, Atlanta, they get Kevin Stefanski. I don't know where they put that out from. John, I don't know what Matt Ryan was thinking, how much he had a decision in that. Miami, it's Jeff Hafley, the Packers defensive coordinator.
I don't get the Hafley thing, but I don't know him very well, so
Yeah, exactly, and I'm just not so sure about some of the coaches that are going in for the teams that they have at the moment. John Harbaugh, I think, is the best one so far, going to New York Giants. Hopefully, he gets Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterboo tucked away for sleep every night, and it's not much more. So, as far as the teams that need coaches, you got to get in that market. So,
you know what would be really cool, guys? You remember Lou Saban? This is probably before you were born, Brian. But
is this from the Nick Saban line, or
Lou Saban was the head coach of the Buffalo Bills? Wouldn't that be cool if Nick Saban went to the Buffalo Bills?
Bringing it full circle. I don't know. Mike Tomlin
Lou Saban was his uncle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Mike Tomlin, I believe he's just going to take time off. He's not even in it. Is that your understanding as well?
Yeah, it looks like he's not really interested. It seems like he would have to get an offer for a team that really fit him really well. It does seem like he's going to sit sit out for a year. So I don't know. I don't know what to make of this, because I look at this list and like, who is Mike McDaniel a good fit for out of that group of teams? I don't feel like any.
Cardinals, Browns.
I mean, the next time around, would he be better off taking the Texans' offensive coordinator job and waiting for next year? Or does he take the Bills' job if they offer it? Is he even a good fit for them? He's a little bit of a space cadet. So, I don't know.
He is. He's a strange one. I mean, we'll see. It's going to. Is it normal that it takes this long? I'm trying to find out I'm trying to remember. Does it normally take a few weeks for this stuff to happen? I know you got to do the interviews, but doesn't it normally seem like these positions are filled pretty quick and that it's taken too long this year? Or is that just me because I'm in the thick of it? Waiting for my new head coach.
Yeah, I think it's you because you're in the thick of it.
All right. Maybe so.
Yeah.
All right.
It does seem like it's taken an awful long time, but used to be that teams knew exactly who they wanted and just went for them, and now I don't know what's going on.
Well, there's the Rooney Rule that changes it.
But a lot of those are just token interviews. Brian Flores got a lot of token interviews. I don't think anybody was really serious about him. I used to go to school with a guy named Otis Pimpleton, and I always said, if they're going to make me do the Rooney Rule, I'm just gonna interview Otis for the Seahawks head coaching job. Well, I feel like, I did the Rooney Rule thing, but teams are just doing that, and it's like you don't know who they really think or who they're really interested in.
Flores isn't going to get hired. He's still radioactive.
I think he's a little bit radioactive.
I don't think he's settled that lawsuit against the National Football League.
That would probably help.
He's still employed, isn't he?
Yeah, but I mean, there's 6 openings. So, I mean, who do you guys think is a good coach that deserves a shot or another shot? Jim Schwartz, I always thought, Brian, he got a shit deal in Detroit. I thought he did a really pretty good job with that team. I didn't think they should have fired him.
No.
How about keep the continuity with the GM, Andrew Berry? Your defense has been good. You just got to revamp that whole damn offense. This offseason needs to be all about revamping the offense and giving Miles a little bit of help.
Well, and is Bill Belichick interested in any of these jobs? He says he's not, but
Bill Belichick, Nick Saban, Urban Meyer, Jim Tressel, you got Gruden. Like, these are people that have Ohio connections, by the way.
Gruden has said he wants the Browns coaching job and he can make Shadur into a star. Why is Gruden's name not come up?
Yeah, Gruden did tweet out something about the Raiders and Fernando Mendoza the other day too. So
yeah,
I believe he should be a head coach.
But would they bring Gruden back?
Gruden's done his push-ups. I think they should bring him back.
I would be very happy to bring John Gruden in with. Well, here's the thing. Let me ask you this: do you think Gruden would accept? Do you think he would accept offensive coordinator job, or would he have to be head coach?
No, he's a head coach. No, he's got too much.
Schwartz would have to stay, or Schwartz would be out.
Yeah.
Would you revamp the Browns' defense, or keep something that you have?
I think Gruden would be an OC for one season. As a part of his penance.
His Louis C.K. tour of apologies.
Yeah. I think he would do it for 1 year, but I think Mike's right. I mean, he's a head coach.
But what if he's paid head coach money? Does it matter in the title?
I don't think John Gruden needs the money. I don't think he needs the money. So, I don't think so.
Yeah, I like a lot of these names. I'm honestly fine with whatever. And I really do think it would be smart to try to lure Cignetti away. I don't know what.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was just going to bring that up with Cignetti. That's not happening. Cignetti said he's going to stay in Indiana. The money's pretty much the same. He just won a national championship.
Yeah.
It's really no point of him coming.
And he said he's a college coach. He said, I'm a college coach.
Yeah. What's he like, 50, 60 years old? So yeah. It's really there's no point.
Even though we've got no state tax here, I would not take that Raiders job.
No,
I don't know. I mean,
Tom Brady in the ownership group this year now.
What's got to be happening, guys?
He's a minority owner, though, Brian.
Right. True.
What's got to be happening is that there are guys who are coaching in these last 3 games that are strong candidates for these jobs that are still open. Kubiak is one on the Seattle side. Maybe Josh, what's his name, the OC, who's been a head coach before.
McDaniels?
Yeah, the guy, the Patriots former coach.
No, he'll never be a head coach anymore.
Well, then who are they waiting for? They're waiting for these guys to get. There's a lot of guys they're waiting for.
I just pulled up the betting trends, and I'll tell you a couple of them. Clint Kubiak, Seattle.
Yeah, can you flash that on the screen?
Chris Shula with the Rams, defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Favorite for the Steelers. Brian Daboll. His name's out there. Jesse Minter, the Chargers defensive coordinator. Mike McDaniel, former Dolphins head coach. Yeah. Other notable names, Davis Webb, Broncos QB coach. Joe Brady, Bills offensive coordinator. Robert Saleh, now hired by the Titans. Yeah. And then Vance Joseph, Brian Flores, and Lou Anarumo.
I mean, after the mess in New York, though, are you really hiring Brian Daboll as a head coach again right now? Are you?
Was he the reason for the mess? I mean, the Giants are a mess.
Yeah, the Giants are a mess. But...
I mean, was Daboll the reason the Giants sucked, or the Giants were the Giants and Daboll just got Giants?
Seems like he was one of the reasons.
Yeah. Well, I mean, any of these coaches, you get a Kevin Stefanski, like, yes, we got Stefanski. You're like, congrats, we've won like 6 games in 2 years. He's not good. He's very, he gets his 2-time coach of the year, and kudos is sitting on the shelf.
Kind of my reaction when the Raiders hired Pete Carroll. Good luck with that.
You were just laughing. Him and
Brian, I'm gonna run up to the Sun Coast after the show. I'm gonna do a futures bet on the Falcons.
Futures bet on the Falcons head coach.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Yeah. Let's get into the matchups of that are coming up. Then I guess that's kind of where we're winding it up.
Guys, there's only 3 football games left this year. Oh my God.
Season 2, episode 20. What are we on? 27. 27 today, gentlemen. Season 2, episode 27. I love it. Only 3 games left, so let's make them count. Jim, where do you want to take us first with your betting trends? And Mike, do you have this pulled up?
Yeah, they're up. They're up. If you pull them up, you can.
Okay, I didn't hear the beep. Let me grab this. First, you're following Mike on X. He's at seahawkboymikeb and Mike Bara 333. Follow the Unhappy Hour at the Unhappy Hour _ and TNAM Football for Strictly Football on X, please. Okay, what do we got here? Patriots, Broncos. Patriots are giving 5.5 to get it started.
Yeah, the Patriots opened at 5.5. They are I'm looking at the betting right now. The Patriots are still 5.5 point favorite over the Broncos. Of course, if Bo Nix didn't break his ankle, this number would not be there.
Mm-hmm. So brutal.
The over/under on this game is 41.5. I'm cheating and looking at the next game right now, and that has not changed either. Game time temperature in Denver is supposed to be, it's going to be a little cold, boys. It's the high of 38 degrees and sunny for game time.
I've heard of worse in mid-January, though, late January.
Yeah. Patriots are 15-1 straight up and 13-3 against the spread. Patriots are 8-0 straight up and 7-1 against the spread on the road. Drake May is 10-4 against the spread on the road. Favorites of 4 points or more. Again, this number is getting wider, boys. 102, 38 losses, and 1 tie straight up.
Wow.
Broncos are 8-10 against the spread this year. They are 14-1 straight up at home the last 2 years. Quarterbacks, the first time in the playoffs, which I believe Jared Stidham this is probably going to be his first playoff game. 21 wins, 38 losses, and 1 tie straight up.
First time quarterbacks in the playoffs, 21, 38, and 1. Yeah, that's a tough go. Your first playoff game.
Yep. He wins this game, he's a hero.
I mean, experience matters when you make it to the playoffs. That's why you want someone that knows what they're doing when you get to the playoffs.
What's that?
I said you want experience when you get to the playoffs. Go ahead, Jim.
Did Jim hear you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Playoffs. Yeah, everything says Patriots are going to win this game, and Broncos are going to be great.
This number is going to go up by Friday, boys. So if you like the Patriots, I would jump on it.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I like it. Do we like it by enough where we're given 5.5 though? The Broncos at home. I don't know if I like 5.5.
It's a lot better than 6.5, and that's where I think it's going to go.
How are the Broncos going to score? How are they going to score any points? How?
That's a good question.
Jared Stidham and their receivers aren't very good anyway. They don't have much of a running game. How are they going to score any points? The Patriots are not a great defense, but they're a very good defense. I think this is like 27-13 Patriots. I'm giving the 5.5.
Repeat of the Texans game.
Yeah, a lot like the Texans game. Absolutely.
All right, well, we shall see. We all get to make our predictions. I was 1-3 last week. We'll show what you guys were, of course. A little bit of. There you go. Yeah, you pulled it out when you needed to. I fell apart when I.
What were you, Mike?
3-1.
3-1.
Oh, me too.
3-1.
Yeah, you guys are all 3-1. I was 1-3.
I may be close to clinching. I don't know yet, but we'll see.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's getting. Yeah, we only have a couple games left. You might be there actually.
Yeah. Okay. Rams Seahawks.
Yeah, Seahawks are giving 2.5.
Yeah, this game opened at 2.5. It is still 2.5 as we speak. We talked about the weather earlier. Sunday afternoon, the high is 44 degrees. And it's going to be partly cloudy in Seattle so far. Seahawks, again, 2.5-point favorite. The over-under in this game is 47.5. So they expect a lot of points to be scored in this game. The Rams are 27-10 against the spread versus the NFC West if you take out the 49ers out of that factor. So they are 27-10 against the Cardinals and the Seahawks. The Rams are 19-10 against the spread. They are 11-5 against the spread on the road. Matthew Stafford is 3-11 straight up in the rain and the snow. If it rains, it's supposed to be, so far it says it's going to be partly cloudy. So far there's no rain or snow in the forecast for this game. Stafford is 2-8 straight up when the temperature is under 40 degrees. So game time or halftime could very well be under 40 degrees in this game.
I'll be watching that for sure.
The Rams are 20-5 against the spread in December. Matthew Stafford is 20-4 straight up in December and January. That's a 5-1 favorite in favor of the Rams. The Rams are 10-4 straight up in the playoffs. The Seahawks are 7-11 against the spread at home the last 18 games. The Seahawks are 3-3 straight up at home versus the Rams. That doesn't help us very much. The Seahawks are 5-7 straight up versus the Rams. That doesn't help us. And the Seahawks are 2-9 against the spread versus the Rams the last 11 games they've played. Teams that played the 49ers the week before are 21-39 straight up the week after.
Jim, is this your favorite? Is this your favorite trend of the year?
What's that?
Teams that play the Niners the week before. It's always such an interesting one when I hear
last year. My favorite trend was teams that played the Lions because that was
okay.
That was outstanding. That was a big number. But I don't know what to say about this game, guys.
Rams are good. I think the Seahawks are better. That's what I would say.
Well, I mean, you look at all those trend lines, Jim, and a lot of those Rams stats aren't against the Seahawks, number one. Number two, a lot of those Seahawks trend lines are Pete Carroll, Geno Smith era, not Mike McDonald era. So I throw them out. The Seahawks are the better team. They're better rested. They're healthy, except for Zach Charbonnet, which may present a problem. But like I said earlier, I think they weren't going to be able to run the ball that well against the Rams anyway. So it just means Karen Walker's going to get more carries. Hopefully he doesn't get banged up. And, I mean, I see two ways the Rams can win this game. Something fluky happens. Some fluke play. Somebody does something incredibly, Cooper Kupp is running for the game-winning touchdown and the ball drops out of his hands and out of bounds and they lose by 1. Or the refs. And I am concerned as I look through the Twitter media. Everybody's, what a great story the Rams would be. It would be so great to have the MVP of the league in the Super Bowl. And I worry about the refs because the refs will change the game. I just pray to God that it comes down to the better team, the team that plays better on that day wins the game, and that the refs do not affect the outcome. But that's my biggest concern. I think if the Seahawks get to the Super Bowl, they will be treated fairly. But I'm not sure they're going to be treated fairly this weekend, and that worries me. I think that the Rams are a really, really great football team. I think the Seahawks are a little bit better, and I expect them to win this game.
I agree with a lot of that. If the Rams or the Seahawks, either one of them go to the Super Bowl, I think they're going to be a heavy favorite against either the Patriots or the Broncos. And let's, for argument's sake, say it's going to be the Patriots. Because that's what I believe is going to happen.
The other thing that, you can't discount the overtime. You can't discount the extra plays. You can't discount that the Rams have had to play an extra game to get here. They're on a normal week, but the Seahawks have an extra day to rest and recoup. And as long as the injury list stays clean beyond Charbonnet, I feel like the Seahawks have what it's going to take to win. And the other thing, too, is really interesting. A couple things came up this week that I've been noticing is people are talking about Puka Nacua only makes big plays against linebackers in zone coverage. And there's a lot of people out there showing stuff. And so I say let's put Woolen on him and follow him everywhere, one-on-one. And because if you can take away Nacua or minimize Nakua's impact, the Rams are going to have a hard time scoring. Devontae Adams is not going to beat you deep anymore at his age, I don't think. So that's an interesting thing. And, the other people say, look, if you look at how well the Bears played Stafford last week, they pressured him. They brought extra guys. They forced him to throw the ball when he was uncomfortable. And he's not very good. And other people are like, but the Seahawks are going to be worried about getting burned by Stafford if they blitz him. Let me tell you something. You're going to get burned anyway, okay? Stafford is Stafford. He has great receivers. They have a great head coach with great schemes. He finds ways to scheme guys open. So you may as well take your lumps and try to – they're going to score on you. So you may as well try, I think, to disrupt Stafford and hope that you can disrupt him and make him nervous enough that he's not able to make those big plays in the fourth quarter.
I'd like to thank Marion for that comment.
Yeah.
Cook.
One question.
Hold on. Jim said I want to thank Marion. The comment, of course, I put it up a second ago. I'm rooting for the Seahawks for Jim and Mike, since my and Izzy's Cowboys won't be playing, unfortunately, Izzy. To you, sir.
Yeah. One question I do want to ask, though, is what do you think the main difference is going to be from the last time you guys played, 5 weeks ago? Because Matthew Stafford had 457 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, and Puka Nacua had 225 receiving yards. What will be the main differential between the two games? And they didn't have Devontae Adams playing that day.
Oh, that's big.
I think it's more man coverage on more man-to-man is one way to do it because we can play man-to-man very well. The other difference will be having Julian Love, who is one of the best top 10, 15 safeties in the league.
Yep.
Nick Emanwari was injured in that game, and so was Kobe Bryant. So having 3 of our top 5 defensive backs back will limit their ability to exploit the secondary like they did in that game. And then the other thing I think they have to do is they have to apply more pressure. They have to come after him more. They have to surprise him.
Yeah.
And Mike McDonald is a great schemer, so he can do that. So that's
why you guys had 0 sacks that game and 2 TFLs.
because it's interesting because it didn't seem like in that game we really tried to go after him, Izzy. It seems like we just wanted to box him in and let him throw, and you let Stafford do that, he's going to carve you up because if receivers are good enough, somebody's going to come open at eventually. So I think the key to the game for the Seahawks defensively is to make him throw the ball a lot sooner than he did in the last game.
Yeah, that was week 16. That wasn't too long ago. The Rams opened as a 1.5 favorite, and it was quickly bet to Seahawks as a 1.5 favorite. And the game landed on 1 point.
Yeah.
37-38 Seahawks.
I could did Sunday. The Bears tried pressuring Matthew Stafford a lot. I did see that. The commentators were talking about that.
Mm-hmm. They came at him with different stuff.
Yeah.
And, you're not going to stop him, but you want to make him uncomfortable, so he's not perfect every time, right? So, they contained him fairly well. Stafford didn't have a touchdown pass. I'm just telling you, if the Seahawks can hold Stafford to not throwing a touchdown pass and scoring 20 points like they did last week, and our defense is better than the Bears defense. If we can hold them to 20 points, we're going to win the game 30-20. That's the way I think it's going to go. But we should win, but it's not a razor thin margin, but it's a pretty thin margin. And please no late pass interference calls to give the Rams the field goal they need to win the game. Just please don't let the rest.
I'll agree with that. I just want it settled on the field. I don't want some holding penalty like the Eagles Chiefs. Like, don't do that. Don't end the game like the Bills phantom fumble. I hate when the game's not decided on the field. It's decided with a ref. So but it's going to be incumbent upon the Seahawks then to win by enough so it doesn't get that close.
Yeah.
You got to beat the other team and the refs.
So Jim, I don't know. What do you think about those betting trends? Do you think that they make sense, or do you think that they're all?
Well, a lot of them are Pete and Gino, but these two teams are just so familiar with each other. I still hold a lot of those trends as being strong, but this game is going to be a toss-up. I mean, and the way the money's going on this game, I mean, it opened at 2.5, and it's still 2.5.
Yeah.
So the money is coming in evenly on both sides in this game. The number has not moved.
I just wanted to update you guys real quick. The referee for the Seahawks-Rams game is Clay Martin, and the Rams are 7-0 in games that he has officiated. So.
Oh, that's I'll add that to the stats.
I'm officially now worried.
Yeah.
Now, does Clay Martin, does he have a long track record, or you just happen to glance at it are you?
I just looked it up. He's
it's not like he's connected to a bunch of shady outcomes per se.
Yeah.
That's like I don't know the NBA ref's name, but it's like Chris Paul is like 0-18. Like Chris Paul never won a game against one of the refs that he goes against. Yeah.
Yeah, and that used to happen a lot more in the NBA.
Yeah.
There were certain refs that you just weren't going to give you a good game no matter what. There was a famous NBA ref named Jack Madden, and he lived in Atlanta, and the Atlanta Hawks lost it was something crazy. It was like 30 games that he officiated in a row, because he wanted to show he wasn't biased by calling against the team. So Scott Fox.
You try to go out of your way. It's almost like if you're the umpire and your kid's the pitcher, you got to be extra tough on him to try to balance it out.
Yeah. So,
that was Chris Paul struggling with Scott Foster in playoff games. Scott Foster. All right. Let's go around the horn and make our picks, fellas.
Are we going to share our screens, or are we just going to say who we think we're going to win?
I'm going to share my screen.
Well, let's share the screen because, like Mike said, Jim, what is your overall record? Did Mike already lock this in? Are you close enough in striking distance to overcome him? I don't have you in our pick'em.
Let me finger it out here.
Well, I went 3-1 last week. I went
3-1 as well. my Achilles heel was taking the Bears.
Yeah, and I took the Bears because I thought the weather would be more of a factor, but
So you
it
should
was a
still be
factor.
one game up on me, Mike.
Yeah, I'm only one game up. Okay, so
Oh, okay, striking distance. There you go.
and I don't know what Izzy's record is or yours, Brian, but
My playoff record is at the top.
At the top. Oh, yeah. I'm 172 and 110. So I'm a few back.
okay. Well, you can't catch me then.
Correct. Yeah,
And
I'm out.
Izzy's is screwed up because of that week he didn't bet, so or didn't pick. So let's go to the championship round. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious who I'm going to pick. Conference championships, I'm taking my Seahawks and I'm taking the Patriots, and we've talked about all the reasons why. So that's who I think is going to be in the Super Bowl. I'm just praying that the refs are not a factor.
Fair enough. I will second that. Like I said, I don't want the refs to be a factor. Jim, you want to pull yours up? Show us what we got here. You
got
went
it?
3-1 last week as well. 177 and 105, striking distance, huh?
One
do
game
have
back,
that.
Jim.
You got it on the screen?
Yeah. Up there, yes, sir. So you went 3-1 last week. You got Denver and Seattle.
Yeah. We'll go ahead and go with Denver. After my discussion with Mike here, not real crazy about it now, but yeah, I'll just roll with the Seahawks in this game. We'll go with Denver and we'll go with the Seahawks.
I'm seeing your picks from last week. Are you sure you're entering the ones for this week?
Yeah, click on where it says divisional round up there. Down. There you go. No.
That should do it, I think.
But click down to the where it says championship games there.
Yes. Oh, hold on. Jim sharing. Try it again. All right. So you were going to go with, there we are. Okay. You're going Seattle and New England. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not too confident with it, though. I can tell. You
No, not after the discussion that Mike and I just had. I mean, I don't even see making any type of wager this week. I just might lay off this week. I might get an early bet in on New England, but there's not going to be any type of parlay working this week. It would be a straight bet. I'm pretty confident that New England's going to win the game and cover that 5.5. Don't like the Ram Seattle game at all as far as betting.
Yeah,
guys, quick question.
I will stay away from that game.
How does it impact your give a shit meter when you don't have money riding on it? Like, is it's 80% of it, half of it? Like, what?
No,
how much does it matter?
I mean,
obviously, Seattle game aside, because like you're all in on that.
When I pick a team when I bet on a team, then I am rooting for them.
Yes.
Whereas otherwise, I wouldn't root for them. Probably most of the time, I wouldn't give a shit. You know,
after the fantasy playoffs are done for me, it totally changes. I still care because I like the real playoffs, but the rooting interest, it doesn't. I don't know. It's not kindled for me the same way.
Especially when you bet a team that you follow all year and you say it's your team and they end up losing and you got money on the team. You know, some people will take the other side, you know, just so they won't feel so bad. You know, and that's not a healthy way to spend your money. But I told Mike this several times. I mean, the elation that you get from winning a football bet does not outweigh the depression you get from making bad picks and losing.
Yeah, a football.
That is a much stronger emotion when you lose money and lose a bet than if you were to win the bet. If you understand that.
Yeah. Well, do you have the same thing where like you have the remorse of the picks that you made or versus the picks that you almost made? Like which is more painful? Like, I almost picked the Cardinals to cover but like something you almost pulled the trigger on but held off. Is that worse than one that you?
Well, yeah, that would have been last week. I almost bet the Patriots, and I had a winning week. I had the Broncos on a single ticket, getting 11 to 10 odds, and I had them parlayed with Seattle on the money line and the Bears. So I cashed 2 tickets. Did I feel good about it? Sure. Yeah, I felt good about it. But if I had lost that Bronco ticket, at best I would have broken even.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
6-7, is he right?
Yeah, but it feels good to be right, but you feel a lot worse if you're wrong.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. Izzy, let's get an update on you here. Okay. Wow, you were 3-1 last week as well? Caveman style?
Yep. Hold on.
Everybody was smart but me. Doggone Bills. That didn't help me.
Oh, there we go. All right. Yep, 3-1 last week. I'm gonna take the Rams and Broncos. I'm gonna bet against the Patriots again because I don't know why not.
Fair.
They've been my only losses in the playoff. I mean, I took the Chargers. I went 5-1, and then I went 3-1 this weekend. So they do it again. They do it again.
You might be dangerous if you don't forget to submit your picks. Who knows? Maybe Mike dodged a bullet, even though Jim's still in the race here. All right, let me pull mine up here on the screen. Last week, I sucked. I was 1-3. All I got right was Seattle. So let's move it to the final round here. What is this? Conference championships. I guess I just, I can't win, but I got to take the opposite of Mike. Mike is taking the Seattle Seahawks, so I'll take the Rams. I don't believe it. I'm just trying to get closer to the winning.
It's very possible. I mean,
these are all very good teams, and there's a couple question marks around. We'll see.
I'm going to say, my bad for getting you up. By the way, guys, I'm happy with whoever wins between the Rams and Seahawks. I'll be glad to see the NFC win the championship. But I don't have any malice against either team. So
yeah, I
especially the Seahawks though. I like a lot of players on the Seahawks personally.
Yeah, well, and having lived in LA for a while, that franchise began in Cleveland, by the way. If anyone forgets, the Cleveland Rams won the NFL championship and relocated to LA the very next year in 1945-46, I believe. So, I tried to find a way to root for them. But in this one, I will go for the Rams and whatever the opposite. Yeah, I think New England will win, so I'll pick Denver. I wouldn't be surprised. I know that Jared Stidham isn't he's not battle-tested. But this is why you play the games. You just never know. These are team efforts. It's coaching. The little things, the ball bounces one way or another. You never know.
Mike, one question. Is there any chance you get a ticket out to Santa Clara for the Super Bowl?
Well, yeah. Only if there's a massive financial reset and I'm suddenly a millionaire. Yeah, we're all going. But
a dinar.
Yeah. And I'm kind of looking for that, It's about time. But
aren't we all?
Aren't we all? Yeah.
So that's a big maybe. That's a big maybe.
Okay.
All right. Well, then let's go around the horn and say our goodbyes here at this.
It's one of those things. It's one of those things where if the Super Bowl was in Vegas like it was a couple years ago, and like it should be every year, we'd all be partying out here in Vegas. That's for sure. I'll be over at Jim's house eating pizza.
Pineapple and jalapeno. Indeed. Do we know where the Super Bowl is next year? It's in Santa Clara this year. Anyone know next year? Who knows?
I don't know.
Probably one of the newer stadiums.
All right. Well, Mike is going to be live tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern time for Toxically Masculine.
That is the plan. Yeah.
What topics are you covering tonight, sir?
Oh, Greenland. All of the controversies that are in the news on a daily basis. Don Lemon will probably make it. There was a press conference today about a UFO case that's blowing up in Varginha, Brazil. I don't know, but
vagina.
It's almost certainly not an alien. So we'll be talking about that. We'll be talking about all kinds of stuff that might be relevant to the news.
So basically, check out the Mike Bara 333 YouTube channel. Is maybe the best way to get your show.
And Real News Live with Mike and Jem on Rumble is the channel, and Toxically Masculine Tuesday is the show. So.
Heck yeah. And also Whiskey and Wisdom on Wednesdays. Is that always Wednesday?
Correct.
Excellent. What Izzy first? Izzy?
Y'all ready for that Bad Bunny halftime show?
Oh God. We got a week or two before we got to deal with that shit, don't we? Fine. That'll give us something. Thanks, Izzy. Yeah, I'm super ready. I'll get my t-shirts printed. Bad Bunny for life. I'll get like
Bad Bunny
Brown's hat with some Easter Bunny ears. That'll be cool.
Jesus Christ.
Jim, you're always good for a nice quote of the day to get that awful taste of Bad Bunny that Izzy just threw at us out of our mouths.
Tell your friends about this show. I mean, we there's a lot of if gaming is legal in your state, I mean, this is a real good show to watch. As far as betting trends and everything, and I mean, the viewership has just gone up. I've been following the numbers on this show, and we've gone up quite a bit as far as viewership. But it's like my old friend Samuel Clemens once said, the coldest winter I ever spent was a summer in Santa Clara.
Yeah.
Nice.
Completely off topic. How about the Dodgers, man? Getting Kyle Tucker.
Yeah, Dodgers just keep adding, and everybody's.
And supposedly, we're still in the market for Tarek Skubal as well.
Yeah, because of course, this is getting
all-star team.
You need to put a salary cap in baseball to balance it out. This is getting kind of ridiculous. It's the Harlem Globetrotters versus some high school team.
Okay.
And then they're like plus 200 before the season even starts to win the championship, which is outrageous in my opinion. But
you're living in unprecedented times. Enjoy your generational run here. If you're not going to win all these championships, good luck, man. Shohei is unreal. Congrats to getting another overpriced baseball. All right, everybody. Thank you all for being here on today's episode. 3 games left. I hope you enjoy it this weekend. And then, of course, the big game coming up for you. So signing out for everybody out there in the TNAM universe. I appreciate you. I love you. And we'll talk to you again soon. Take care, everybody.
Peace.
Bye.
Hi, this is Eric Metcalf, and you're watching Unhappy Hour.
New American Media is proud to present a division of the Unhappy Hour Sports Show, Strictly Football.
It's the Unhappy Hour.